Hello and welcome. This is BloxBlabber, a Roblox talk show discussion-like content piece of sorts. We will talk about Roblox and maybe some other things, but mainly Roblox. This time we have Crazyblox, creator of the game Flood Escape. Hello.
Hello there, how do you do?
And on top of that, we have another Roblox-oriented YouTuber, JohanSKruger.
Hello, everybody.
Despite the time frame of this show, there have been quite a few things that happened to Roblox lately, so do you have anything in mind to start off?
I think something relating to all the bland events going on with Roblox lately.
Yes, that certainly seems to be a popular topic nowadays.
I know, I just feel like I could address it in a really good fashion in how they just slap on core mechanics of find 6 hats and you've done it great, you know. It requires minimal effort on Roblox's end, and all they gotta do is approach some successful developer and just rinse and repeat with different themes, really. That's all there is.
Yes, you could have a curious perspective, because if I remember correctly, during the Winter Games, you did take part in one of these events, or at least your game did.
I'm aware of that, yeah. What I'm trying to say is basically I feel like it could do with a bit more creative flair from Roblox's side themselves, because winter, summer, Jurassic World, it's just themed hats, and I feel like there could be different ways in how it's handled. Like, remember when they were debuting the universe and all that in the Easter egg hunt of 2014? It could have had like a hub world of some sorts, possibly. I mean, there's many ways you could go around it, but for the guys over at Roblox, it seems like a pretty easy rinse and repeat solution. And if people like the events, well, majority, then keeps them quiet, I suppose.
Yeah, I personally do not dislike them to that extent, but I do not think they should be advertised in this manner, like something grand and big. I would agree that they could be actually part of the site, go on like one a month, maybe different sponsorship deals or something, just for the sake of getting hats. But alongside that, I would actually wish some proper events, maybe dedicated places again. The egg hunt, I don't really have the best memories of that. I suffered from severe lag, and the game was just unplayable. Maybe that was just me, but the previous Halloween places were actually sort of good.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I miss quite a few of them, and maybe with like, I think the reason they're not doing like places from scratch is due to all their development time, and it could be a lot more unreliable in how they get the results for the event. So I don't have anything else to add on to those events.
One more thing. This is something I read on the forums. They said a good idea to fix it would be like to add like dev games like around, let's say, the winter, the summer, and maybe like around the holidays like Thanksgiving, and then leave Roblox to make like Easter, Halloween, and like Christmas. At least that was an idea that I read.
That's got a good balance, that does. It could work if like everybody works towards that goal, of course.
Yeah.
What would you actually do if you would have to orchestrate such an event?
Me?
Say Summer Games. If that would be a thing and you were in charge of actually creating some sort of a creative game instead of just these hat collecting things, what would you do?
I just thought of an idea right up on the spot where they could have one hub world in which you could integrate the core mechanics of the current structure of events so far, like collecting all the hats from different places. You'd still be able to use that, but let's say if you were to collect those hats in order to unlock something else in the hub world, which could be like it would give a mix of developer events and Roblox dedicated events as well. It's just
That's actually pretty interesting.
Play through all the side games to unlock main features in the main game. It would definitely make good use of universes if that was a thing.
Yeah, not too many games actually use universes. The loading may be a bit of a problem. I've currently have been seeing a lot of these, you join a game, the game loads, you enter the game, and there is... Oh, something happened.
Hello.
Welcome back.
Hello.
Yeah. Sorry about that. My internet went down for a second.
Okay. I have an idea for another topic we could do.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I've already listed it. It's like sales in regards to rare items and time zones, with all the limiteds going on. And prime example would be the Dominus or other rare hats. It's like as soon as they get put into sale, I mean, there's people with Chrome who have plugins which notify them as soon as an item gets released. For me, I just follow the Twitter as alternative. But I just kind of lost the point of hunting down rare limited items because other people beat you to it, or it's just botted. I feel like botting is quite an issue with rare items. And not only that, lots of people outside of America typically miss out on all these rare items because they're either sleeping or busy doing something else compared to other places. And I feel that they need to kind of configure how the items get distributed across regions of the world based on the time zone so that everybody gets fair deal of it.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not really interested in limited items, so I don't feel the botting issue as much, but time zones really are a pain in the ass for some of us that do not live in the United States, and for today's BloxBlabber, that is the majority of people, so keep that in mind, do not upset us.
I just lost my train of thought. For all the items being sold, it's just the bots are a big problem, especially with rare items. And I'm trying to remember what I was going to say, but I'm just not picking it up.
Right. I mean, the problem, it is obvious that the time zones are America favorable, but what can you do about that? I don't think there is any way you could actually make it fair.
I suppose what you could do is divide all the stock based on how many visitors they get from each region in the world, I suppose, or at least reserve them and distribute them like every few hours, possibly.
Oh wow, that would make sense.
Like a restock, planned.
Looking it to regions, that seems a bit extreme, and keep in mind, proxies exist.
Yeah.
But restocking, that seems reasonable, actually.
I mean, restocking, you shouldn't have to worry about proxies then if you're restocking, because by the time it comes to the later ones, those who previously missed it whilst busy sleeping or anything else would be able to get the items.
That may actually work, but I'm not sure if anything like that is going to come anytime soon.
It's a complex system compared to what they got now, so...
Hey, Crazyblox, why aren't you a part of the marketing team for Roblox?
I don't know.
So many ideas that they just don't do.
It's always nice to just talk about ideas that could be,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, ideas are nice. Implementation is a bit more complex at times.
That is true.
Infrastructure can be a pain.
You would probably know.
Yeah. My work is so messy under the hood right now, you don't even know. But I am trying my best to make it optimized, at least to say.
Yeah, optimization seems to be a bit of a problem with Roblox.
I think that it's always been a problem with Roblox, though, since once it first started. It's just one of the issues that a lot of developers need to get through, though.
Yeah, I personally haven't suffered, but a lot of people are complaining about performance issues.
On the developer forums, there's been people complaining about rendering issues with the frame rates dropping down from like fluent 60 to 25, or something 30 related, regardless if the hardware is absolutely beast or not. That I'm not sure what the cause of that is, and it's been quite neglected. I've picked up on it for quite a while. I wasn't too sure if it was my monitor or not, and I can verify it's not my hardware setup at all. And I can run Killing Floor 2, proper good game. Excited for release. Anyway, yeah, and not only that, over the time, I know Roblox has added more rendering features and made it look nicer with forcing materials to render now, regardless of what platform you're on. My netbook from 2009, it used to be able to run Roblox now, but it can't run on a base plate without acting as if a player was walking half the normal speed.
I think it's the problem of the age of Roblox. I mean, it started at 2006, maybe. I would really hate to get the number wrong, but it's quite old. It's nearing 10 years, I think, and they've been actually building it on top of what they had actually previously. So I think it may be a problem very, very buried into the code.
Yeah, I mean, sure. What would you think what they'd need to do in order to build it upon a new engine? They'd have to implement their physics for networking, not necessarily for rendering, possibly, but...
But I think it's possible for them to do. I mean, they already built a new engine from scratch, I think, once or twice before.
I'm not sure, really. I think it's just much more preferable to build upon what they have now than just rebuilding it all from scratch.
Yeah, imagine all the R&D costs.
That would be ridiculous. I mean, since I'm sort of working in that area currently, I have an idea what I'm speaking about.
Yeah.
10 years is an absurdly long time.
It is.
I'm sort of trying to be working in the area of web development. It is a slightly different area, but even then, 6 months is a very long time and we need to change technologies as a result. I cannot really imagine what the code is deep inside Roblox.
They probably still got legacy code from 2006.
I imagine so.
I'm actually surprised they managed to implement the smooth terrain. Like, it actually does make Roblox look a lot nicer.
Yeah, speaking of smooth terrain, what do you think of that?
Smooth terrain. Now, whilst I haven't been to any places on it, I know that they're promoting it by having contests, aren't they? Posted recently a blog post. I've seen screenshots and the original video demo for it, like from months ago, and I gotta say it's really impressive what they're doing with all the smooth terrain and voxel based, and you know, it's a nice way to bring something nice visual looking without the builders having to put much effort into it, other than ambience in Skybox and all the likes. Whilst I do like the idea of a smooth terrain, I kind of feel like it draws a little bit away from what Roblox actually is. But I appreciate the fact that smooth terrain exists.
Ah, a Lego game.
We do not mention that word.
Banned.
Is it still censored? That would be funny.
Let's not try.
There was a long period of time that the word Lego was actually censored on Roblox, automatically just crossed out.
Isn't Harry Potter censored as well?
Yeah, I have no idea. But
Oh my God.
to get back on smooth terrain, I think it's great. It works well. I think that the bricks and terrain in conjunction doesn't really look that great. But the biggest problem I have, I don't know if I'm just an idiot, but I just can't control the building tools for smooth terrain.
I think they have bettered the tools compared to the tools for terrain before it became smooth.
Yeah.
I know there's like a radius-based tool on where you could like dent in the world and like build on the world. Additive and subtractive tools for smooth terrain. I assume they're easy to control. They should be by now, to be honest. They've had a lot of time to do so.
That said, for building terrain it's great, but I've sort of wanted to enter the competition or contest for the smooth terrain, which sort of involves you making a real life place. I wanted just to build some structure. I was thinking of the Eiffel Tower, but I just opened the studio, started trying to build the smooth terrain in some sort of a reasonable angle, and it just didn't work.
Oh man.
Because it's basically like sculpting all over again, that's why.
Yeah, it's...
The problem is I don't think it's really intended for these things. It's just smooth terrain. Let's try
Yeah,
it.
just for a landscape and probably not for buildings. I mean, organic stuff, not artificial stuff to say.
Right.
I feel like the tools for the smooth terrain with the Eiffel Tower I don't know if it would fit really. I just don't think it would work.
They don't. They don't.
Dayren, all thing you gotta do is remodel the Eiffel Tower. 10 out of 10.
However, it's not official, but there are plenty of online resources. Though you may have to dig deep. What you could do is just download an object model, a 3D model of an Eiffel Tower, and then import that into Roblox Studio with a OBJ importer. And I'm pretty sure, don't quote me on this, Clone Trooper may have made a block to smooth terrain converter. Just do that.
Oh yeah.
I think you have just unleashed hell on the contest. I think that after this video is published and people actually realize this.
It's the easy way through.
I didn't actually explore the possibilities of the plugins in this area, but if that is actually possible.
If it is, then exploit the heck out of it. Nobody would know.
Oh man, this is going to be fun.
But yeah, smooth terrain. I'll have to experiment with it sometime. But it is an interesting idea, but I just don't think the Roblox name should be plastered on it.
Do you know anything about the new physics engine? There has been a sort of teaser video a while ago, but since then I don't think there has been a single word.
I think it was at one of the last developer conferences. Don't quote me again, but...
Oh, were you actually at one?
I think it was West that's already happened. I'm not too sure, but It was at some Roblox related event. It was during a live stream. I think they demonstrated updates with physics engine. You know where you had like motor hinges and you put one on one on one on one and it would start just falling over and toppling and all that. Well, with a new update of the physics, it remains horizontal and they all rotate in in uniform as you would expect. So basically, it's been
Crazy,
a lot-
right?
Now about that, but basically, it's just updates which make the whole physics seem more stable, and that anything which makes anything stable is always welcome.
Yeah, I
So
mean, an update which would actually make the physics work. How outlandish is that?
I'm excited for it. Needless to say, I mean, I hardly use physics in my games, but it would make Super Bomb Survival would probably work really well because of it. I know that uses a lot. It's purely physics based in how bombs work, buildings collapse, all that stuff.
It's sort of unfortunate we didn't really hear much about it since. There has been absolute silence on this, so I assume that it will come out of nowhere in the few next months or something.
It's probably just some more background work to make sure it's the stable update is stable.
That would be a good thing, possibly.
Mm.
Speaking of Roblox updates, do you actually have any opinion on the new front page? Game icons.
Okay, game icons. The purpose of game icons, it was supposed to make, unify the Roblox platform for PC, Mac, especially mobile devices, and how they use a screen estate, so they could display more. To me, the new front page, whilst it is a nicer design, I can't seem to... Nothing stands out as much anymore, I feel. It's purely work on the thumbnail. And with the thumbnails, they were bringing in a bunch of rules, weren't they? To make sure, it's got to be strictly this and strictly that. So, it looks professional.
Well, actually, to put that on the right line, that's the big mystification around this thing. There has been actually no official rules surrounding this. The entire Wikia page, this is actually taken from the suggestions, the text at the top, the game icon at the bottom, as in the logo, bottom right. These are only suggestions, yes. You don't have to accord to them. But people were like, creativity is tempered. I'm offended as fuck.
I kind of feel bad about that now.
Other than that, I mean, I think the front page never has been really very glamorous or beautiful, but... I'm just going to say I don't like the new design. I don't think I like game icons, but the front page still doesn't look very nice.
It's grey fonts, and usernames that when you click on their username, it doesn't actually go to their username, it goes to the game when it's highlighted as blue, which would imply it's a link.
Also, I think it's very stupid to make the size so small that you cannot, 90% of the time you cannot even see the full title of the game.
That as well. I can barely fit simple 2 words on there, and with the advent of the new thumbnails, how are you supposed to communicate updates to the players?
You are not.
I mean, the Amaze Man, I know he's had quite a lot of ideas on how to push updates to players through stuff like the home newsfeed, which I feel could do with a bit of updates because it's purely friends and groups, and that's about it. I mean, adding support for publishing game updates with actual notes, approaching the players themselves if they like the game, which is, further enforces reasoning to do all this stuff like liking games and all that jazz.
So more or less a Facebook Roblox.
A Faceblox, if you will. Actually, I think that's already been done by Jared Velders in 2012. Don't go there.
Oh.
Oh, Jesus. No.
Don't do it, folks. Not even once.
Where has he gone to?
Thankfully off Roblox.
Huh. That's likely for the best, but...
Rip in pieces. He got banned, actually. I can't remember what for. It's been that long. But I'm glad he's come, because I got in a right conflict with him.
Really?
Yeah. It was with the Mario Kart in 2012. I was building it up. He actually commented, I like this place. So... Jared Velders being himself, he got somebody to exploit the Mario Kart, which I was still building, and his just got into front page without any marketing whatsoever, no advertisements. So I'm like, okay, that's fucked up. So I tried to run an advertisement campaign, and despite adding more maps, better car systems, customizations, it just didn't work. I got really frustrated, and I quit for a good half a year.
Yeah.
Because I reported the place loads of times. I called Roblox themselves, and I emailed them. I tried to reach them as much as I could, but I was just getting really frustrated, and that was why I did, leave for 6 months, and
It's
and then
curious how this different standard for Robloxia phenomenon is actually able to go on.
it's crazy.
Was the advertisement just better on his? Was that really the deal? Because I noticed that when the advertisement is really good, even though the game might be the worst game on Roblox, a lot of people still go to it just because of the advertisement.
I don't even think he advertised. He was just Jared Valdez, and he shoved racing cars on the thumbnail. There you go.
Oh.
But that's enough about Jared Valdez.
Yeah, for those people, to put it, give some background, to those people who do not know, Jared Valdez was actually our old school version of Julius Coles.
He got really frustrated whenever he got banned and posted a rant on YouTube. Not as violent as Julius Coles, but it was still quite funny how he had to rant like that.
I wonder who's going to be the next year of Valdez or Julius Coles. There's always one.
It's going to happen eventually.
Die as a hero or live long enough to see yourself become the villain.
Exactly.
I mean, it's funny, let's give this a bit of salt. Last time we talked about Julius Coles bombing the HQ, and now we have ISIS recruiter on Roblox.
Has it been? Right, I'm gonna search out
Come
right
on,
now.
I had to pull that off.
I have the article.
ISIS groups.
The Indianapolis Department of Homeland Security and FBI warned people last month that ISIS was actively recruiting Americans through the internet. Well, now this Indianapolis family believes they were targeted. 11-year-old Austin Sherrill says he was playing the online game Roblox when one of the gamers sent him a message asking him to join ISIS. Now, Austin called his older brother Andrew, who started recording the online chat. The two boys say the gamer, named Pavilion HD, told them ISIS was planning an attack on America in 3 weeks. Austin then told his mom, who filed a police report.
I was terrified because on the news I hear stuff like they've been chopping heads off and stuff, so I'm like, oh my God, these are powerful. They can just come and just kill us all without even thinking of what they're doing, so I was terrified.
Now, the brothers say they've blocked the user on the online game and can no longer chat with that person. Investigators could not confirm whether the gamer was a real ISIS recruiter. If so, Homeland Security says this would be the first local attempt at recruitment. Also, Homeland Security says currently there are no terroristic threats in the area.
The most tragic thing, I actually do suppose it was a joke. Just a side note for the viewers, if any of you are Islamic, I have no problem with Islam as long as you are not murdering people. Please do not bomb my house.
Oh,
There was a line and you crossed it.
your description of
Let's engage the stereotype drive.
I mean, I know that there's Christian groups as well, isn't there, on Roblox? There's all
Yeah.
kind of religious groups. I mean, good for them. Let them do their thing.
I mean, I run a religious group, followers of the Omnicamp, eternal glory to our Lord. Join it, it's good.
Fish.
We've just got Jesus imbued static in the stream. I'm sorry, stream BloxBlabber thing.
It's okay, Crazyblox. You can speak now.
Oh, this is getting out of hand.
Crazyblox, speak.
It's okay.
Oh, he's alive.
I've already pledged myself to the mighty Omnicarp.
Good job. We need more 5 people like you.
Yes.
You make the world a better place.
I mean, yeah, I do apologize for the last 2 minutes of this, because whatever I think of religion and non-religion, I think that it should be kept out of this channel at least. We are talking gaming.
And out of Roblox.
We are here to actually provide entertainment, enjoyable content. Let's not talk this here.
Okay, so religion's being pushed aside. Let's
I mean,
fix
we can
that.
talk about the ISIS thing, but let's not judge.
I mean, what else is there to say about it, really?
It's hard to not talk about ISIS and talk about the other stuff, so that's why. Because they're a little bit too related.
It's just, it really shouldn't belong on Roblox, the, whole ISIS thing.
I mean, curiously, not to stop it just yet. It's just the first thing that would make it seem to me that this was a joke. Why, of all the online places, would you advertise ISIS on Roblox? What sort of people would you hope to recruit there?
I genuinely think it might have been a joke thing or something.
I know, that's what I
That's
was
my
thinking.
opinion as well, but just common sense, come on people. What would they hope to get? Online daters?
Online data relating to ISIS. Yeah,
Oh,
okay.
that just went dark pretty quick.
If you think it could be worse, think again. I feel like we should move on to another topic now.
Sure. It really got dark.
We spent a great deal of time just talking about ISIS, and you know that's wonderful, that's great. But we gotta give all the other topics some love too, you know.
What else do we have?
I've got one more idea if you want me to throw that up. It's all like basically trends on Roblox in like how previously the greatest example for this murder games. You know, as soon as everybody sees a really popular game, everybody's just gonna like start producing clones of that, and you start seeing them all across the front page. And it's extended to the point where it's basically just mini games based around knives and revolvers. A good example is Lolorus's Mad Games, I think. But the speedrun genre of games as well.
There we go.
Here's another example. Let's just go up, search for speedrun, because you know the most popular one is Speedrun 4, made by Verse. Now he didn't make the original one. Okay, I just searched for speedrun and I don't see the original. I see plenty of clones. You know, straight off the bat. I know the original one was made by someone else, but then everybody capitalized on it, especially Verse. He's made two speedrun games now, Speedrun 4 and Speedrun Reloaded, and I think he made Mirror Mode as well. They're not great quality, I think. In my opinion, they could be a lot better. Speedrun 4 originally used my animations, so I got onto his case within like 5 nanoseconds, and we dealt with that situation swiftly. Yeah, I mean, top earning, Twisted Murder, The Mad Murderer, and you know, you don't even have to click to go right. I mean...
Yeah, it seems strange that, you know, at some point it is original, around the time of Murder Mystery, you know, and everyone was, woo! Everyone was playing it, and then about 10 more games like that appeared, and it sort of became a genre on its own. Same with the speedrun, you know, there were obstacle courses, that was previously. Then someone made the speedrun, which I suppose was something like an obstacle course, but since everyone started copying it over and over, nobody even cares about who the original creator now was. It's not even taken as some sort of an intellectual property anymore, you know. Nothing original, it's like speedrun, that's a genre.
True.
But technically, that's an issue that I think even Steam has with early access. Like, basically all the games are a copy of another one. Like, Roblox has this issues, like, before Steam Early Access had it, but it's like, it's an issue that really hasn't had a solution just yet.
Gaming has this issue.
Yeah, pretty much, gaming does have.
Whenever something popular actually appears, people try to make profit out of that by making something very similar.
It's because they know they've got the audience to work for.
Exactly.
Just the amount of blocky zombie survival games resembling Minecraft in some way.
Oh, don't even get me started with FNAF.
Oh!
Nope.
Abort.
Conveniently placed video link to MasterChef Wizard.
Appearing on our screen right now is this video content is sponsored by MasterChef Wizard. It is monetized. Do disable adblock and give me money. Thank you. We will continue. FNAF, Jesus Christ!
It's my dream to become sponsored by MasterChef Wizard someday.
We
Life
should probably
goals.
do that.
It could work. It honestly could, because I want to make some Roblox videos, but yeah, no time. But if a chef wizard wants me to, then by damned I will.
We should probably work something out. If there are actually Bloxies this year, which still... I don't know if you are feeling this, John, but just the amount of people who have been releasing Bloxies past the 3 months that they haven't been even announced yet.
Dayren, they've been releasing Bloxies right after the last year's Bloxies, man. So, if that doesn't happen, so many people on resale are going to be sad and they're going to cry and they're going to complain. So trust me.
I would love Bloxies to never happen. As a person who haven't actually even touched anything Bloxy related this year, I would be just sitting here and I would be like,
nobody resists the LMED.
Yeah, but if Bloxies do actually happen, which is basically the only actual excuse I have for making Roblox Machinimas anymore.
It's also very time consuming to make a Roblox Machinima. I know from experience.
It takes a lot of skill with it, especially if it's all within, studio, of course. You gotta make sure everything works fine. If it's fancy effects, scripting, flying, it's just very complex, time consuming, and all that jazz.
Yeah, which is why we are making BloxBlabber.
because it's really cheap to produce.
Yeah, I was like, let's make BloxBlabber. We will just talk for an hour or so, and then I will just put it on YouTube. Bam! Instant content that will sort of, appeal to the Roblox viewer base I have. And then I was like, 25 hours of editing. I was like, shit.
The strongest of feels right there.
Yeah. I didn't fully realize the implications of actually putting related footage in the background and making everything fancy and spinny and related, but I think it's ultimately worth the effort.
Yeah, I think the amount of effort you put into it is pretty admirable, to be honest. Like anything we talk about, anything relatable, you take a screenshot, slap it up on the screen, and that's great. It takes a while to research, but it's honestly worth it in the end because it gives out high quality.
Dayren is a great person.
10 out of 10 would Dayren again.
Donate your children to Dayren.
Okay.
That was abrupt.
There is no questioning.
By the way, before I forget, the guy who created Speedrun was Lol Bonnie's face. That's in the chat.
It's got 5.2 million visits, and compared to Speedrun 4, which is the name copy, has 6 million plus visits.
Ouch!
Yeah.
I have another topic to talk about if you're alright with that.
Yeah, we will just read these burns and go on with it.
The new page for individual games, like how they updated it so that everything's a lot more horizontal instead of vertical.
I don't even know about that. It's not much of the layout I have a problem with it. It's just, it looks, I can't even describe.
Basic. It looks basic, doesn't it? Very flat.
Very simple. I don't know.
It's the design trends of today though, but it needs to be done right if it's going to look nice. What I don't like, what they did, in relation to the front page new redesign and the new game page redesign, is the visits. You can't tell accurately how many there are. I mean, you can actually. I just hovered over it. What the hey? Created, updated. You can't tell for paid access games how many people have bought it. That was one of the things you were able to see on top paid. So all you see is the ratings.
Yeah, that really upsets me. I used to ramble on how these shitty games are actually getting all this money. Now I cannot calculate it.
Yeah, I mean, I can't possibly loathe all the rubbish paid access game makers now.
Yeah, speaking of the live hobby.
Oh my god.
Are you aware of that?
What, Life, the sim clones?
I don't know, there are two games now. One is called Lime, that has been around for quite some time. It has been very dominant in the top paid section. Just because it has a very fancy thumbnail and promises some OD experience, possibly. But in the description, there is stated that it is actually an obstacle course, which apparently upsets a lot of people, but since people are idiots and do not actually read about what they are buying, they buy it nonetheless.
Did you actually play that game?
Obstacle course?
It's one of them is an obstacle course. There is another one that came out recently that is not, supposedly. But the one that has been around for a long time has been always an obstacle course.
Oh, description.
Yeah, nobody reads
this is
that.
an obstacle course about life. This is not for Sims.
Yeah.
So it's just a over-glorified obstacle course, because I'm not paying to find that out.
Yes.
Is that why it's got bad ratings?
I unfortunately haven't. Yeah, that probably is the reason. I haven't bought the access just because of that.
I genuinely thought it was purely Sims-based clones. Well, I feel like it's not the full story there. There's probably more to it than we know. I would pay to go, but I just don't like the idea, especially when 2/5 dislikes.
Yes, I mean, funnily enough, I do have some degree of sympathy for that person, just to try to make money out of the stupidity of other people, because let's be honest, that's how most things actually work nowadays. I have even done that myself, to actually put some context on why am I a horrible person. It doesn't mean that I'm not, I'm just giving you the background story. I have actually made, for the game I was sort of trying to make, the Tycoon, I don't think you are aware, I made a game pass that was called VIP, and people could buy it, but they wouldn't actually get any commands or any extra features, and it would actually state in the description of that thing explicitly that this makes you sparkle and nothing else. And still, I got about 6 messages that were like, oh my god, this doesn't work, I want a refund!
You need to know what you're buying into, honestly, before stuff like that.
Yeah.
It's a hard lesson to learn, but
I've put that even in the description. I was going something along the lines, this doesn't provide anything else than sparkles. If you buy it before actually reading the description and are finding just about now that it's just sparkles, let this be a lesson for you.
Do you think?
I
do you
mean,
think-
it's a horrible excuse. I mean, I obviously didn't do that just to educate people. It was for self-gain, but hey. So that
Do
would be
you
a bit
think
funny.
Roblox could assist stuff for things like that, especially with game passes? Because
I don't
on the
think-
on the game page design, it's just got the image, title, amount it costs, and then buying. That people would just roll off from the image and the title. Maybe if you hover over it, it gives you the description of the item without having to go to the new page.
Well, I think if I just put something like, a Game Pass called VIP and say in the description explicitly that it's just sparkles, they can do anything to that. If it's a misleading thumbnail, but it still states that it is just a life-related obstacle course in the description, they couldn't do anything to that. To the obviously fake thumbnail games, maybe, but I don't think they really want to go to that curation level.
I'm just feeling slightly crushed about the whole life and obstacle course things. They looked really good. They got really professional renderings up, and just to discover that it's just an obstacle course, come on.
That's the biggest bait, possibly.
Yeah, they make it look nice,
Yeah.
and it's you order like something which is expected to be of really good value, then you realise it's an iPhone. Sorry, folks.
I
I
feel
am-
you.
I had
That's
to
why
go
I say
there.
like advertisement. It kind of like it's kind of the main thing that why reasons people play like stupid games on Roblox. Like they have no idea, no effort, or anything like that. It's mostly pure advertisement. At least that's what I think.
You just need them to believe enough that gain their trust. Say we're a good game. Now buy and play, and we won't bother with you ever again.
Mm-hmm.
Literally, all of that strat.
So I think they'd rather have the idea of playing a great game than playing a great game.
All right, so I just went on the Roblox Reddit because I quite like to frequent that instead of the forums. I think it's quite to just see what we could talk about. And the first topic on the page that appears is Sieg Heil RSF. I have no idea what that is, but it seems like a fun clan, assuming that it's a clan.
He's got a video. Charlie Lamb's recruitment video.
Oh my God, there we just talked about this.
What the hell?
Are you seeing the video right
Yes. I think I dropped a tear right now.
Just. Oh my God.
Okay, I suppose we could talk about clans.
Can you just put that video up when we're talking about this? Just put
Yes.
that video.
Green screen forced meme.
Wow. I can't.
I'm just gonna set the speed to 1.5 to make it a bit more enjoyable.
And the person that uploaded it has a YouTube username as Muhammad Jihad.
No. What is this channel?
To this again.
I've drawn the line.
Oh
I've seen
my
enough.
God.
I've seen enough shot. I've seen the original video. 15 minutes in, he just goes, "Duh!" and then it really catches you off guard. But nobody's taking it seriously now. It's so funny.
Jeez,
You know when it's dead though, when a Robloxian tries to shove it on a clan promotion.
that. Oh my God, this thing. This made my day.
Do you remember when was it Alan who was like delving into the clan world of Roblox, and or was it Andrew? Basically, they tried to delve in and immerse themselves in the clan world, like set rules and everything. And they said it's really interesting and all, and that there's this kind of aspect to Roblox, but only if it's done right, I think. Only if it's done right, and you've got the right people running the group. But unfortunately, that isn't with the big groups, I think.
Yeah, so you don't think that Mohammed the Jihad would be a good group leader?
That is the worst example, okay, of a clan members. Like, that's the last thing you'd expect. I mean, having clan stuff can be associated with role playing, I suppose. It's just like raids and all, because there's no set rules for raiding. It's something that everybody's mutually agreed upon, and I think it's really cool how everybody's got a set up behavior about this stuff.
I don't think there is much of that. You know, half of the time it's just excuses so you don't have to acknowledge a defeat.
Oh, yeah, that's a problem since it's not integrated
Yeah.
into the Roblox system. We can't.
It's like, yeah, but
We're
5 of our
undefeated.
high ranks weren't present. It's not official. We are still undefeated.
It's like those playground stories where you get shot but you have a force field.
Well, we may be trying to go into questions soon, but before that, there have been quite a few new games on Roblox recently.
Oh yeah.
There's Dodgeball got released. Minus Haven got released.
Yeah.
I'm unaware of any other new and recent ones. Oh look, Build on a Skyblock 2, 68 likes and 271 dislikes. Game of the year.
Yeah.
Ripple mini games. That's like a recent one. There's even a Splatoon remake.
There has been
Oh,
the...
oh no.
There's just so much new stuff coming out. recently.
There has been the... I think it's called Cube Eat Cube.
Oh,
Oh,
Agario
that
claim.
Fantastic
game.
Master Luke.
That game.
What do you
Yeah.
think of that? A lot of people were actually, you know, just crusading around saying that that's seriously bad.
My personal opinion, it's really cool that people are creating stuff like that in Roblox. I mean, it's Stickmaster Luke, so he always makes good stuff. You can, you know, Deception, Infection, and everything. But what I feel is I'd still rather just go play Agario.
I am sort of split on this issue. I sort of think that this is a really bad thing for gaming in general because it's just an inferior clone, essentially, with less complexity and options. But at the same time, when we are speaking Roblox only, it's really good that something like that exists because Roblox is sort of an enclosed environment, I feel.
It's like its own platform, yeah.
Well, it's rare to find a good original Roblox game. I think like the ones that I found really original, like recently, I think it was like Cube Simulator and Strife. Because like
mean-
Cube Simulator, I never actually seen another game like that, to be honest.
I mean, I'm not sure. I mean, I'm probably talking a little bit too much about myself, but with my games, whenever I created them on Roblox, it was literally just looking at the front page and says, Facepalm, this game's bad, this game's bad, this one's bad, that's bad too. I can make a better one of that, and that, you know, that's practically how Foodscape came to be. And I've got a work in progress right now, which is. I'm gonna spoil it. I'm making a speedrun clone. I am. Honestly though, it's not what you'd expect it to be. I mean,
He's one of them. He turned into one of them.
you don't know half a story, pal.
Half the story is all we need to burn your house down.
If you want, I can show you it right now, but it don't need to. Whilst it is based.
Would it be kind of like Super Checkpoint that is kind of like it has
Super
the animations
Checkpoint.
and all that.
Yeah, that's a good game. It's original. It uses the core mechanic of speedrun, but you can tell that it's original and it's because it's got like different game modes. It's got standard run and perfect run. He's added his own ideas and elements to the game, which what makes it original.
Iteration of already existing games that innovate or change in some manner are perfectly good. I mean, that's how some of the best games goes around.
I mean, wasn't Apocalypse Rising inspired by DayZ, and then it became its own little thing too?
Yeah.
I don't know. To me, I think it's like a little bit better than making the inferior clones. Even though it's inspired by an idea, but you're like reinventing the wheel with that idea.
Right, I think now would be the time to introduce the new segment of the show. Very brief one. Well, I wanted to call it the ad of the week, but since this is 2-week show, calling it the ad of 2 weeks would be sort of stupid.
Ad of the day, run?
Let's just call it the ad of the episode. Okay. So, basically every time we will have very exquisite, carefully selected ad that we will actually comment on due to its artistic qualities and things. This is the first one.
No.
Click to Mountain Dew before. Oh.
No.
Oh.
Roblox moderators had to go through this, and they actually clicked the approve button.
You know, I think it's safe to say that if you see this on the side, that you know it's bad when you can literally say that your advertising is shit.
I'm not enjoying the ad system right now. How do I add Roblox dedicated ads to ad blocker?
Well, very easily actually, but we can start with the questions. Let's get an easier one for starters. What made you find out about and drew you into the game?
The game.
As in Roblox, I would assume.
Well, if we're talking about Roblox, do you want to go first, Johan? Or
Well, since you already started, you may as well finish.
yeah, I'm great at this stuff. Literally, playground story. Friend told me about it. And I was like, oh, it's Roblox, cool. It's like virtual Lego. So I played it and I enjoy it. And well, let's go about 8 years down the line. Oh my god, that's a long time. Here I am.
Yeah, for me I was just on Newgrounds playing some Flash games and I just saw that and I thought it was like a Lego game, so and that's how it all started.
How did all the old school users actually get there through Newgrounds? I also
Their
I did see also an advertisement on Newgrounds. It was something like I think it was something like a river and some sort of a raft in the middle of it.
I saw that one too.
Vintage ads right there.
I mean, even the person who asked the question has that experience.
Mm. It's literally how they had to get word out about it because it was fairly new at the time, wasn't it?
Yeah.
So we had to spread it, and then literally word of mouth did almost all the rest. But let's not mention the TV ads down in like 2012.
That was
no.
great.
I mean I'm not in America, but they put it on YouTube for all to see.
It's free.
It always is free. They always say that.
Yeah. We may have a follow-up question on it actually. Roblox, is it free? Well, yes, it is. This is a very long question. Free to make an account and free to create and play affordable games. Roblox seems to have a costly exchange taxes, high prices, and member-owned treatment. If you do not come with money in Roblox, you will not enjoy your stay. What do you think? Do you have an answer?
Okay. Like I said, a business needs money to survive, and with all these memberships and high prices and stuff, it's obviously how they get their money. How they get the user base firsthand though is to bring them in by saying, oh, you know, it's free to play and stuff, and show you how great of a game it is just being free alone, and then they make you realize of all these membership ideas and stuff, and that it's like the incentive to be able to like get more out of what you've already got, and for status, for building, you know, anything. It's just like any business needs money, and if Roblox wasn't selling Builders Club or anything, they wouldn't be. I don't even think they'd be here if they weren't selling, you know, premium memberships and all that. They need it to survive.
I think it isn't free, or to answer that question.
It's free.
Is it actually free?
Well, you can play games, can't you? So I'd like to say it's free.
I mean, personally, I think it is free to a great extent. They do provide a lot of services for free. I mean, the most important ones as well, which I do consider to be the studio and the ability to create games and even, get servers, multiplayer servers for free for a virtually unlimited amount of people and even profit from that. Seems like an amazing system.
It's great that they do all the, back-end work through the cloud, and, you just publish a game and Roblox does all the work. I think it's really good that it's free.
Even if you cannot create groups or you don't have a fancy badge or get more virtual money to buy more hats, I think that massively outweighs it.
The fact that Roblox does all this cloud back-end work, and it's been around since like 2008, with all this power and all, it's great. I think it's great that Roblox is free to play.
Yeah. I think it is actually free in the most important areas.
Yeah.
The fact that that you need Builders Club in order to make clothing is sort of unfortunate. I think it would be kind of nice if you could make clothes but not sell them without Builders Club.
I also think Roblox kind of has that concept that it takes money to make money. So if you're an NBC, you really can't make any money, but if you're like a BC, at least you have a chance to make it.
Investing, isn't it?
Pretty much.
I mean, the fact that you got to be OBC to do developers exchange, it's like you got to ensure that you can justify the cost of why you're buying it.
Speaking of DevX, what is your thought about DevX and its uses? When I say uses, I mean uses in the ways of people like Julius Coles using it and by people who aren't copiers using it. As strangely as that question is structured,
I understand that. Roblox goes to great extents to ensure that people like Julius Coles wouldn't go through with getting developers exchange simply because of how he created his game. They go through all kinds of moderation methods before they say, here you go, here's your money, because it's money, it's serious stuff. However, for like people who haven't copied and stuff, developer exchange it's like, I think it's one of the greatest features to bring out professional developers. I mean, look at the front page games now compared to 2 years ago, just before Developer Exchange was around, you got so many more professional games. But with Julius Coles, I rest assured he wouldn't have got any Developer Exchange out of it. I think I remember him posting on ATR, like complaining to the moderators why he couldn't. So, yeah. I say not to worry about people who are illegitimately collecting the Robux through things like scams, because they always check through before they exchange it. Yeah.
Alright. Let's see something completely different now. Dayren, do you and John take your inspiration from older Roblox YouTubers like JJF, X5, and God knows if I read this properly, Flesghatra? Likely not. Why or why not? And if so, how so?
Oh, that's so old school. They are so
good
old
reading
school.
abilities by me, but because Crazyblox is not involved, let's ask you first. Crazyblox, do you think we take inspiration from someone else that was here previously?
From previous Roblox machinima creators?
Yeah, something like that.
Well, the fact that the medium's already been explored before by other people, it wouldn't necessarily mean that you've taken, directly from them. But I haven't watched many original videos, but the fact that Roblox machinimas now are still a thing is good for the community as well, and creative. I think it's
Okay, to answer personally, not anymore, but I actually did get into Roblox video making because of another Roblox YouTuber at the time, Yoshiman. He did make some sort of a blooper-like series, and I have to say that the garbage I made was heavily influenced by that, so yes.
Yoshi, man, yo. There's so much nostalgia is coming back to me right now.
Flesghatra as well. Remember him?
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
What old gem.
So, do you actually take your inspiration, or did you, from anyone, Joan?
Well, the first time I was making a video for Roblox videos, I got my inspiration from JJ5X5. Then recently, the reason why I have inspirations are from like a few people. Mr. Obvious's animations, which kind of made me kind of animate. Your videos is mostly the LMA there, because they actually had a pretty good funny storyline. And some I think I would say Pixel Flames. I don't know if you know him.
Oh yes, I do.
He has some, like, in the movement of his videos, he has like this quirky kind of Gmod movement. So that kind of, I would say, inspired me to it. And actually, before I forget, Firefox too. The comedy and all that.
Didn't Pixel Flame create the animation intro for the new dodgeball game?
Yes, he did.
Yep. I haven't checked out his channel yet, but I think I should give it a take a look at it. Have a gander.
Might be reasonable. Right, would the Roblox be better if it was marketed toward a higher age demographic? I mean, short answer for me, yes.
Yes.
Long answer for me, higher age demographic does possess more skills and is more likely to engage in creative activities that involve more complex things like scripting and, say, building game development. So it would bring, potentially, a lot of good things to Roblox from the player perspective.
I couldn't
At the
agree.
same time, I don't think it would be such a problem anymore, because I think I spoke about it last time, but they did remove the rule about no excessive violence, blood. There was no blood allowed in Roblox games even back then. And now that is gone, so you can have more mature games.
A good example would be Bloodfest, and that Gladiators game with a thumbnail is literally somebody's decapitated on a pole.
Oh.
Yeah, and that's the thumbnail for it. I mean, there's horror games on Roblox now. So
This would
there's
create
that.
a few problems, though. You may really need to put some age restrictions on the games, as outlandish as that sounds.
I mean, didn't Roblox let you have a 13 plus system in there? Because I don't see it being pushed anywhere now.
It would make sense, certainly.
Other than the chat with whitelisted words and stuff like that. Yeah, it's just the whitelist chat. But
Yeah,
basically,
I would imagine.
it's basically the chat is so limited that you probably can't have a standard conversation without one of your words getting hashed, which happens in a lot of the messages I get. I purely can't understand many people if they've got ideas or anything, simply because the whitelist is very strict.
Yeah, we got a little bit sidetracked from the questions. So let's try to get back on with something really simple. Are the 1-tick items necessary?
one-ticks items.
Yes.
For yes, absolutely. For NBC users like who wish never to invest in Builders Club, you just won't be able to buy anything otherwise as an NBC user who's never bought Roblox or bought Builders Club before, or no popular games to get revenue. That one-ticks is crucial, which allows customization.
To answer the question though, no, it isn't.
What?
Well, Roblox actually has
What?
free items, so they could just brand it under that. I have no idea why one ticks is necessary.
To put the money back in the economy, I suppose, right?
I don't
I
know.
mean,
The
'cause
Roblox economy is really unpredictable, especially after DevX just came around.
Yeah, as soon as DevX came around, the value between
DevX just
ticks and
wrecked
Robux.
the ticks.
Yeah, the trade currency just went, hey, you're gonna be giving a lot more ticks just to get the same amount of Robux, pal.
The economy is weird, partly because ticks don't have much of a use.
Yeah, there's hardly any use for it now. I feel like it's a diminishing currency.
This has been going for this has been going on for quite some time. Thank you, Tank. So let's actually try to get one last question. Do you think it would be a good idea to bring back the old building contests if a better judging system was implemented?
It's a good way to get the community involved. I remember how bad the original building contests were. Everything was the same.
Yeah, not to mention the voting system didn't really work.
No.
No.
You like try to say which game was a better one, and you're like, this one's easily the better one. Yeah, you just lost like, what is it, 3% now?
Still, as a good idea as that was, it didn't work.
Yeah, if it would be such a good idea to bring back if they executed it well. I feel like they have the potential to do just that. Like, you know how they do judging for Bloxies and all? I feel like it should be done that way too. But the question is it worth it for Roblox themselves?
I would say certainly, because it would at least make some incentive to make new games. When they had the, I think it was called Scare Me Silly or something like that, the horror place contest.
Oh yeah, I remember.
I have no idea what the winning game was, but they gave it praise. It was supposedly good.
That wasn't too long ago now, was it?
No, it was last year actually.
A lot of good horror games came from it.
It was good Twitch streaming material as well. It added content to their Twitch channel, so
that wasn't even the only good game. I think there were about one or two more that were actually really decent.
There was that actual good Five Nights at Freddy's claim, wasn't there?
Oh, I don't know about that.
6 Shifts of the Shaduskis, something like that.
Yeah, I feel like having contests would promote higher quality games, and then it could be, if the community likes it, there you go, you spawn a new game to build upon and for other players to enjoy. More reasons to build, get recognition.
If actually good games would be picked in the end, it would actually encourage people to make them.
And it wouldn't matter on your status either.
Yeah, it would make some more, devs popular, and maybe they could actually be encouraged to make more games.
And that's what Roblox needs. They can never have enough good games.
They desperately need good games if they are to survive.
Yeah, but obviously kids can't tell quality sometimes. Julius Cole, thanks.
Alright, any concluding thoughts? Any important things you would like to have voiced before we wrap this up?
Stay fresh.
Stay fancy.
Splatoon. I want the game.
Okay, that was a good concluding thought. Alright, thank you very much for coming. It's been an enjoyable experience, possibly, and hopefully the viewers will find that as one as well. If you like and appreciate this kind of content, let us know. If interested, seek out the cast of this episode through social media links listed on the screen right now. Thank you for watching, and don't join ISIS.